Hi, welcome back to another video from Batticaloa Model Railway. I'm Darshan. Today I'm going to show how I have done this waterfall and the rapids here. So which has come out very nicely, and I have used a slightly different technique which I want to share. And I'm not going to concentrate on how to get the structure and all these things, only the finishing bit, how I have poured the resin and how I have got this rapid effect, and also how the water breaking at the ground level is done. So I'm very pleased with how this has turned out, and I thought it's worth putting a quick video so anyone who wants to follow the technique can do so. As I said, the main focus will be on how to do the rapids and the finishing bit rather than the start. So the first few photos that I have here is of getting the G-form in place with the structure, and the next photo is for the getting the rapids riverbed. Then the next photo is getting a texture by using plaster of Paris. The other one is going to be the painting. The painting is I just continue with the same gray that I used for the rock face. So the next photo, you can see I have used some static grass to get a greener look, and then the important thing is right along the riverbed you can see that I have put some white cotton bits. So what actually I have used is this stuff. This I bought it on the internet. This is actually used for quilt in quilts. So they come in different sizes. I think it's according to the weight, but this is I bought probably a 1 kilo or something through AliExpress, and it was quite a lot. So I'm just taking some pieces out of it. So this is I just you can just do like that and put these things right along the rapid where you want that texture to come out. So that's once that is done, when then the next is to prepare it to pour the resin. So I have just used a normal epoxy resin. So in this one you can see the blue dustpan, or which I have used to raise the diorama on one side. That is because the rapid is going to flow. There's a flow, so there will be a slope to it. So I've done the slope on the structure. So when you pour the resin, it's going to run down. So to compensate that, I have just used this to raise it onto one side and then pour the resin into it. So now you can see on the next photo, the resin was mixed with a slight greenish acrylic paint. So a tiny bit would do. Some paint will mix very quickly, some don't, and some colors mix and some colors won't. So it depends on. So it's always advisable to go with a little bit and then see how it turns up. Then once you put the resin, pour the resin, then you can, if you think the texture should be a bit more, then you can put some more cotton wool, the same that thing I showed you, and you can just slightly press them in so it starts soaking the resin. So this actually makes all the difference, because when you do that, it's going to come above above the level of the resin, so that it shows, it gives that texture where it shows like the water is actually going over the rocks and things like that. So if you can see clear, I have placed some rocks in between, so that there are rocks in the middle, so that when you put these cotton wool on top of it, the resin will actually soak through the cotton wool, and then it will just come above that, and it will just maintain that structure while it's drying. So this was left for drying for 18 hours, probably overnight. And you can see there's it has that greenish watercolor still, and the white cotton bits that we put, it's not that visible at the moment because it has absorbed the green, slight green resin into it. So on the next photo, then you will see here what I've done is I just got a brush, and then I made it very I will show you the brush. This is the brush I have used, so I've just cut off the bristles a bit, and it's quite short, so you can actually take some white paint. Just make sure that there's no big blobs of white paint on it, so you wipe it quite thoroughly. Then just start pressing it on the resin where you want the texture to show up, and show the water breaking. So this way, where you have the cotton wool underneath, and the resin have come over the water level, all these places you can touch up with this, and it will give that white texture, the white color to the texture. Then it will be, it will give the effect of that water flowing down. The next one, I have just fixed it onto the board where the diorama is going to be placed, and you can see it's just continuing from the rock face, and where the waterfall will come and end. So as you can see, it's a very nice finish to it. Here the waterfall is basically done with a silicone tube. So I just bought a small silicone tube and just did lines of it, and these things are readily available on YouTube, how to do these things. And I'm on YouTube, in abroad you can buy specialist silicone and slightly different ones which are much clearer, and it gives a much better effect. But here we couldn't find, especially in Batticaloa, I couldn't find anything. But I have just used a clear silicone. They call this, it is clear, but it doesn't dry clear when you have it applied very thickly. So as you can see, it's just hanging from top to bottom, and then right. So for where the water is hitting and breaking, I have used the same stuff. Underneath there is a small piece where I have soaked this same cotton bit on resin, and it is solid, and it's as left at the under layer, and on the sides and then on the back, and in the front it's the same thing that I've just put it on top, just small pieces, and made the silicone come and join right in the middle. And once I have done that, what I did was I sprayed it with some isopropyl alcohol to break the surface tension, and then sprayed some glue on top of it, diluted glue. And once that is done, then I mixed some white paint, a bit of water, and acrylic paint, and then I put it in another sprayer, and then sprayed it very finely on top of this, so that it gives a better effect rather than going and painting it over with a brush like this, because that will be make a bigger marks, which I thought will not look good. So spraying it with white paint in a sprayer has made a big difference, and I was really surprised how this has come out. And I'm really glad the whole thing has worked out quite well. It might look a bit greenish, but once you have water, then it's bound to be much greener around this area. So, and also you can see the slight the wet effect has been this is by using the resin. I just some of the resin that was left over from the stream or the rapid, I just dabbed a sponge and then made it just wet, so as it dries, it still gives this effect as it's water is sprayed right along the sides. So that has actually made all the difference, and then the moss and all these things you can add later. Overall, that I'm really pleased with this, and these trees and all these things I had from what I bought before. So the scenery, this section has worked out very well, and this bit I have painted and put a normal cardboard, so it actually protects the direct sunlight hitting the resin, and because these some resins are not UV protected, so it might loses its color. So I thought it was better cover it up, and it's much better when your trains are running, and if you're trying to take photos or video, it gives a background rather than showing the outside through the glass. So that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and picked a few of the techniques that I have used, and try it, and you will get really good results. And until I see you on my next video, thank you for watching Batticaloa Model Railway. Cheers.